When the shooting started, what did you think?
So when the first sound, I was already playing, and apparently he came in the front door. I did not know this at this moment. So I'm more in the back corner, around the corner. I wouldn't even be able to see the front door from where I was standing. Um, Pop, loud, so loud, had thought somebody dropped a firecracker right next to you. You know, the things that just run through your mind in such a short span. I mean, that initial pop after that time was so slow. It just slowed right down. Now, pop, pop, pop. That's when reaction hit. Everybody went everywhere. I just went to the ground. All I could think of in my mind was be small, be small. Crawling, there's a half wall with an opening, and I'm trying to crawl to the other side, staying low as possible. I get to the opening, and I turn back, and I see him. The gun's at me. He fires twice. One hit me. Didn't even feel no pain. Only thought that went through my head for that split, that sounds just like TV. Crawled further in behind our cornhole board. Apparently the shooter came in the front door. That's when I knew he wasn't next to me. He was at the front door. He had come in the front door, I guess, come down the line and went straight out the other door. So when he crossed the half wall, which is the side I now have been on, more bullets were coming in my direction. You can actually hear a bullet go by you. Cornhole board I was against bumps into me. I can't even turn my head to look that way. I'm facing the wall, just pleading that I don't want to die. I did turn back. Because the shooting stopped at me. I could feel that I could still hear the noise was deafening, and it was nonstop. And I turned back, and there's a body on the floor between the cornhole boards. I'm behind this one, so he's a lot closer to, and that body moved 3 times. And then out the door he went. Never been so scared in my life. The lights had gone out when he had crossed over that barrier, because when he shot me, the lights were still on. But then the lights had gone out when he crossed over. So I don't know if that was helpful or not, but it made me see when I looked back that I couldn't see him anymore. I just saw a silhouette, and it was out that door.
Did you even get a look at his face?
Too far away to really, I mean, I couldn't pin, if I was in a lineup, there's no way I could have pinpointed out who it was. I just saw the figure, a face, and the gun at me when I got shot. I actually saw myself get shot, so.
What happened after that must have just been horrifying, you seeing some of your friends and your best friend. Or did you? I mean,
did not see anybody.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, the body that got shot, I couldn't tell you who that was.
Yeah.
Even if I could, I wouldn't, because that's not my story.
Of course,
to tell.
yeah.
But there were, at that point, he's gone. The volume level of people started to raise up. Voices could be heard, people yelling and screaming for help. I was next to Andrew when I was shooting cornhole, and either I followed him or he followed me, because he was apparently right there next to me. So when everybody knew that he had left the building and people started going around, Andrew had come up to me, and I could hear Andrew's voice because I'm still facing the ground. And I could hear Andrew's voice, and he's rubbing my back, and he's just yelling out. He doesn't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I yelled at him, "Stop rubbing my back." So Chessie, don't feel bad. You let me know you were alive. I heard that voice. You did exactly what I needed you to do.
Yeah.
So hearing his voice, he's alive. I'm alive.
The police and ambulance.
Police came in. Timeline, I couldn't tell you the minutes, seconds, split seconds, because time slowed so much that for me, until yesterday morning, I thought this was an hour. I would have told you he was in there 15 minutes. And apparently, I learned he was in there 30 seconds. So Chessie directs a cop, one of the patrol officers that came in, and yells at the cop that I've been shot. I don't know if I told the cop, or maybe I just told Chessie, I'm not sure, that I've got pressure on it, I'm good. They needed to check the body. I saw it get hit 3 times. He needed help. I don't know if that happened, because next thing I know, well, actually, I had texted you somewhere in there. I pulled my phone out, and I texted her that I'm shot, going to hospital. So my phone ended up staying right there because it was on the floor. The cop told me to keep that pressure. He picked me up right around my under here, and he started to drag me out the door. I don't remember anything from when he picked me up till I got to the threshold of the door. Because the next thing I remember is at the threshold of the door, my shoe came off. I don't know if I was just in too much pain. I don't know if I blacked out for that minute. I don't know if I saw Joe as I was dragged by him and I just blocked it out. I don't know. He drags me through the door, and I'm coming down the stairs, and my other shoe came off. And I'm hollering for Joe, because now I can hear people's voices. Okay, Richard's alive. I hear another voice. Larry's alive. I hear another, I'm trying to pinpoint people, and I yell. Joe don't answer. The second cop grabbed my feet, and they carried me to the first officer's car way up the road. All the way. That's a long way to carry my dead weight. They put me in the back of his car, and that police officer brought me straight to the hospital. There is a huge difference between fear and adrenaline. Joe and I have done many things adrenaline-wise. We went skydiving together. I mean, that was pure fear. The ride over to the hospital, that was adrenaline. That was fun. Them cars are fast. I get to the hospital. The Jaspers were at the door. I asked them if they heard it from Joe. They said no, as I'm being carted in. And then from there, it was triage, ED, and wait my turn to get operated on.
When did you find out about Joe and everyone else?
We didn't find out about Joe. I mean, when I didn't hear his name yelling back at me, I knew then. So it was hours and hours before we got final confirmation. But
tell me talk about your friendship a little bit here. You've known him, 35 years, you said?
I've known Joe for 35 years. We met at Andy's, back when it was Andy's. His parents owned it. And Joe was a Nobody liked Joe back when we were 20s, you know. I did. I don't know why. Never should have. But we stuck together. It was just, I mean, don't get me wrong, we had our fights, but arguments, and I would give anything to argue with him right now. If he was sitting here, he'd be making fun of my injury. I mean, that's Joe. As years went by and we got older and older, Joe became more and more social, more and more compassionate, more and more would do anything for you. He would meet a total stranger. Go up and ask you, what's the matter? Can I help? Joe was an organizer, from a dart tournament to a pool tournament to cornhole tournaments. This is what he did. When the dart community would lose a member, Joe was right there to start fundraising. This is what Joe did. God, I'm going to miss him so much. He was misunderstood when we were young, but I never misunderstood him. I saw him. He saw me. We're total opposite people. He made me better. I made him better.
I was about to say that you brought out the best in each other. We know more, so we're learning so much more about the guy who did this. You know, I don't know if you watched that press conference at all, where the state police chief, Sauce Chuck, he had said, you know, he thought people were talking about him at the bowling alley and at the bar, and he's sort of payback. But he also said it's probably all in his head. It was more voices in his head. He didn't think any of that was true.
I have seen this guy I've seen him at Friday tournaments. I never knew his name. Never. That's not me. I don't go make new friends. Not very easily at all. Where Joe, and I can't speak for that, but I would not be surprised if Joe knew the guy and probably tried to help him. I would not be surprised at all. I'm angry. The guy is nameless and faceless to me. Do I hate a man? How do you hate a man that's nameless and faceless to you? He needed help. He looked for help. He didn't get it. But I'm angry for what he did.
What did the doctors say about would they expect you to fully recover from all this? Or?
I have a straight through and through, so to speak, injury here. There's a cluster of nerves in your groin, I guess, right here, and the bullet went through that, and they had to also cut that area open to get a lot of shrapnel out of there. So it affected a cluster of nerves in here. So it affects to my knee here, my quad. They're saying that should come back when it all heals back together, but there's no guarantee.
Are you in pain right now?
I am always in pain.
You are.
I can manage this pain, But this pain keeps reminding me that I'm alive.